This hearing, numbered 8214, is being conducted pursuant to Chapter 8.97 of the Revised Code and Ordinance 68571 of the City of St. Louis. The applicant, Electric Mayhem Tattoo, CO Luke Olzik, is proposing to operate a tattoo parlor at 1610 Hampton. Due to the nature of the business, the applicant is required to hold a license issued by this board pursuant to the guidelines of Chapter 8.97 of the Revised Code of the City of St. Louis. Application history. January 24th, 2017. Applicant submitted to BPS a completed BPS tattoo parlor license application for 5 chairs with a drawing of the proposed premise. January 24th, 2017. Applicant returns petition notification postcards and card verification sheets. January 31st, 2017. Secretary of the BPS completes verification of petition notification postcards and mails postcards. August 4th, 2017. Memo from the zoning inspector finding the plat and petition of consent for 1610 Hampton to be sufficient. January 18th, 2017. Letter from the Health Department to BPS finding no evidence of health code violations at the facility located at 1610 Hampton Avenue and recommending approval of a BPS license for a tattoo parlor with 5 chairs. February 5th, 2018. Hearing notification postcards mailed by the Secretary of BPS. And on February 20th, 2018, date of certified letter in which the applicant is notified of today's hearing. As outlined in Section 8.97.070 of the Revised Code of the City of St. Louis, the Board of Public Service may approve such application after a hearing if it is satisfied that the applicant is of good moral character and the applicant has given evidence that he will be able to operate the premise in compliance with all regulations and laws governing such premise, and the application is a resident of the state, and his neighborhood consent petition is in due form, and the applicant's premise are not within 500 feet of an elementary school. The Board of Public Service has in its possession and is therefore admitted into evidence the following documents. Item 1. A certified copy of Chapter 8.97 of the Revised Code and Ordinance 68571 of the City of St. Louis. Item 2. The applicant's file with the Office of the Secretary, Board of Public Service, which includes but is not limited to A. The BPS license application with drawing of proposed premise. B. Petition of consent. C. The above-mentioned letters. D. Map of prescribed petition radius for 1610 Hampton Avenue. And E. A copy of the Missouri State Tattooist license issued to Luke Olzik. Item 3. A copy of the occupancy permit dated February 5th, 2018, issued to Electric Mayhem Tattoo, Luke Olzik, for 1610 Hampton for use as a tattoo parlor. And 4. Copies of public notices and placard placement photos for today's hearing. The board will swear in and hear from the applicant and those in support of the applicant's proposed use. The board will then allow those in opposition to address the board. After each side has had an opportunity to speak, the board will allow for rebuttal. At this time, the board asks the applicant to please come forward and be sworn in.
I do.
State your name for the board, please.
Luke Olchek.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Are you a licensed tattoo artist with the state of Missouri by the Division of Professional Registration?
I am.
Okay. Do you have a license for a tattoo establishment for the subject premise issued by the Director of the Division of Professional Regulation?
I do.
Okay. Will you be able to comply with all the regulations of Chapter 8.97 of the Revised Code of the City of St. Louis? And I will go through each one, and if you would just signify yes or no.
Sure.
A, by ordinance, can only operate from 9 a.m. to 1 a.m.?
Yes.
Okay, what are your proposed hours?
Noon to 8, 12 to 8.
B, sanitation and lighting. Will the premise be clean and well lighted so that the rear of the premise will be visible from the front?
Yes.
Okay. C, noise and conduct. You will not permit any loud noises, boisterous or disorderly conduct in or around the premise or on any grounds of such premise, correct?
Correct.
Number of chairs, you have applied for 5 chairs within the proposed facility. Will you be using only the 5 chairs, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Operating responsibility, as the operator of the facility, you understand you will be responsible for any and all acts of your employees and agents.
I understand.
Okay. Does the board have any additional comments or questions?
There was no letter for or against, in support or against the gentleman from the alderman of that particular ward, correct?
Not that I'm aware of.
He was here with me in support. I don't believe he submitted an actual letter.
They were notified.
Pardon me?
They were notified.
So no letter of lack of support on file?
No opposition.
No opposition?
Right.
Thank you.
Not that I'm aware of. Okay. Any other questions from the board? Anything else you would like to tell the board?
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The board asks a representative from the Department of Health to please come forward and be sworn in.
Raise your right hand, please.
I do.
State your name for the board, please.
John Ward.
Please proceed. Go ahead and proceed. Tell us about your
Okay.
investigation.
Yes, on January 12th, I went and did my final inspection of this premise at 1620 Hampton, and at that time I found no health code violations or concerns, and all the things on your checklist were okay or correct or yes, and so at that time I turned it in as approved.
So no issues from the health department?
No, I saw nothing, no problems.
Any questions from the board for the health department?
You said 1620 or 1610?
I'm sorry, 1610.
I'm just making sure, okay.
Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
If there's anyone else who wishes to testify in support, please come forward and be sworn in. Seeing none. If there's anyone here in opposition that wishes to testify, please come forward and be sworn in. Seeing none. I would like to open the floor for the rebuttal period. Is there any additional information you would like to provide? Okay. All right. This matter concerning hearing number 8214 is now closed and submitted. The board will deliberate the matter following the remaining agenda items. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Scobie.
Here.
Director Wilson.
Here.
Director Hayes.
Here.
Director Augustin is excused. Director Moore.
Here.
Director Edwards.
Here.
And President Bradley.
Here we have a quorum. I'll call the meeting to order.
An ordinance authorizing a public works and improvement program at the airport building and environs projects consisting of capital improvement projects to and for the terminal complexes, concourses, gates, facilities, taxiways, ramps, and environs, including the acquisition of certain equipment, the airport building and environs project. Recommendation that preliminary approval for letting number 8657, improvements at Francis Park, be approved. Contract and bond for letting number 8653, concrete and brick removal, replacement, and complete sidewalk installation Project number SP-106. Recommendation that GFB Industries LLC to encroach with temporary snow fence and supports in front of the building at 1520 Market, March 16 through 17, 2018 be approved. From the Director of Public Utilities, recommendation that the board declares as an emergency a jam screen machine located at the Chain of Rocks Water Treatment Plant shore intake will require that services at an underwater diving company to assist in dewatering and debris removal necessary to effect repairs to the non-functioning screen machine be approved subject to certain conditions. From the Director of Public Utilities and Streets, joint recommendation that the following permits be approved subject to certain conditions as follows. Hapco Partnership, Inc., to encroach with new electrical and telephone communication conduits at 1519 Tower Grove. Union Electric, doing business as Amarin, Missouri, to construct new conduit dug banks, approximately 500 linear feet of open trench construction at Broadway from Spruce to Market and Walnut from 8 to Broadway. Union Electric, doing business as Amarin, Missouri, to construct new conduit dug banks within right-of-way. Construction at Olive Street between 9th and 4th, 7th Street, Locust and Chestnut, and Lucas between 4th and 6th. MCI Metro Access, 2-inch HDPE pipe to be placed for fiber cable starting at 6465 Delmore Place new handhole. From this handhole bore 656 feet south to rear of 6165 Delmore, then bore 67 feet crossing Rosedale, and continue boring south along the east side of Rosedale, 390 feet, ending at existing handhole on side of 6050 Delmore. MCI Metro Access 2-inch HDPE pipe to be placed for fiber cable starting at existing handhole at 5291 Lindell, bore 44 feet west to Union, then south 774 feet to Grand, and place handhole at Franz Siegel statue. From this handhole, turn and bore south 1,570 feet along the west side of Grand, then Union, ending at the side of One Theater, Muni lower parking area. Place handhole. AT&T, start from AT&T handhole at the front of 6607 Chippewa, at the northeast corner of Chippewa and Lansdowne, and bore and place one fiber cable west across Lansdowne to the front of 6651 Chippewa, going into the building, leaving city right-of-way. And Charter, starting at the power pole in front of 929 Ball, set a vault at the base of the pole and bore south 350 feet, setting a vault in the sidewalk. Bore 600 feet south, placing a vault in the sidewalk on the southeast corner of Tower Grove and Arco. Bore west 65 feet across Tower Grove and place a vault in the sidewalk on the southwest corner of Tower Grove and Arco. Bore south 200 feet and set a vault next to 4301 Manchester. From the Director of Public Safety, recommendation that the following festival zones be approved subject to certain conditions as follows. Rosalitas Cinco de Mayo, May 5th, 2018. Rosalitas Cantina on Washington Avenue at 13th Street. This event will be on May 5th, 2018 only, one day. Girl Scouts 100th Anniversary Ceremony on East Bridge, May 12, 2018, East Bridge and North Gateway Arch Grounds. Guyana's Deli, May 24, 2018, at Dagger between Macklin and Edwards. SLPL Comic Central, July 14, 2018, North Curb Lane of Olive in front of Library between 13th and 14th, and West Curb Lane of 13 between Olive and Locust, 6 meters only starting at Olive for food trucks and game time trucks. Alzheimer's Walk Run, October 28, 2018 at Scott Trade Center, 14th Street and downtown streets for 1 and 3 mile walk. Now we have the conditional uses.
Good afternoon, Mr. President and members of the board. My name is Terrell Island, zoning plan examiner for the City of St. Louis, representing the building commissioner. Per Board Order 766 transmitted here with recommendations for the following conditional use applications. Approval is recommended for one application, and that's at 3858 Washington Boulevard. Approval with conditions is recommended for three applications, and they are 2925 Michigan, 4601 Newport, and 4232 South Broadway. I request that these recommendations be approved as submitted. Are there any questions on the conditional uses?
Are there any questions from the board?
Motion to approve the 4 conditional use permits.
Moved and seconded for approval. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Scobie. Aye. Director Wilson.
Aye.
Director Hayes.
Aye.
Director Augustin is excused. Director Moore. Aye. Director Edwards. And President Bradley.
Aye, conditional uses are approved. Hearing number 8214, Electric Mayhem Tattoo. It's 1610 Hampton. It appears that everything's in order. We heard from the applicant. We also heard from the Division of Health, Department of Health, and everything appears to be in order. Are there any questions or comments on the proposed conditional use?
I move to approve the conditional use.
Second.
Been moved and seconded for approval. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Scobie.
Aye.
Director Wilson.
Aye.
Director Hayes.
Aye.
Director Augustin is excused. Director Moore. Aye. Director Edwards. And President Bradley.
Aye. It's approved. I'd like to turn your attention to our meeting minutes from last Tuesday, March 6, 2018. Questions or comments on the minutes? Seeing none, I'll take a motion, please.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Moved and seconded for approval. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Scobie.
Aye.
Director Wilson.
Aye.
Director Hayes.
Aye.
Director Augustin is excused. Director Moore. Aye. Director Edwards. And President Bradley.
Aye, the minutes are approved. Addendum number 1, questions or comments? Take a motion, please.
Motion to approve addendum number 1.
Second.
Moved and seconded for approval. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Scobie.
Aye.
Director Wilson.
Aye.
Director Hayes.
Aye.
Director Augustin is excused. Director Moore. Aye. Director Edwards. And President Bradley.
Aye, the addendum's approved. Today's agenda, questions or comments? Seeing none, take a motion, please.
Move to approve the agenda.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Scobie.
Aye.
Director Wilson.
Aye.
Director Hayes.
Aye.
Director Augustin is excused. Director Moore. Aye. Director Edwards. And President Bradley.
Aye, today's agenda is approved. Motion for adjournment, please.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.